A year after graduating, I found myself at the Ocean Park Aquarium in Hong Kong, watching the sharks swim around in their tank, when a little boy walked up to the glass and said, "Mommy, look, they're flying." I totally agree with him. Sharks do look like they're flying, silently soaring through their underwater sky. Well, I wasn't in Hong Kong that day as a tourist. I had successfully created a flying shark and was trying to see if I could bring them in life in time for the holidays. I succeeded at that, and I have brought some of them with me here today. I just fed them lunch, so they shouldn't be too hungry. Please welcome my air swimmers. I think we're going to need a bigger boat. If they look like they're swimming, it's because they actually are. They flap their tails to move forward through the air, just like a shark flaps its tail to move forward through the water. This works because air is a fluid, just like water. There are no hidden fans or propellers. These guys are actually swimming through the air. I originally developed these air swimmers for my final product design class here at Stanford. During that presentation, I gave it wearing full scuba gear. I was going to do that again today, but decided to spare you guys from seeing me in a skin-tight wetsuit. After graduation, it took 2 more years to develop this idea into a product. I encountered many challenges along the way, but the most critical challenge I had already overcome. Not throwing away the seemingly crazy idea, but instead allowing it to linger in my mind for a little bit. What would it take to make a shark actually fly? The next most critical challenge, and probably even more important, was ignoring the people that said they wouldn't fly, either as a concept or as a product. Of course, I found their doubt disheartening. But it seems that the more absurd an idea is, the more fragile it is. There was one singular event, however, that gave me the encouragement I needed to go forward and develop this idea. The very first shark I had, I needed some open space to test fly it, so I took it to the dorm's common area. A common practice with Stanford student inventions, I guess. What I didn't know was that there was a girl sleeping on one of the couches. When she woke up from her nap to see a 5-foot-long ocean hunter swimming towards her, she did the only logical thing she could. She ran out of the room screaming. Bad fishies, girls are friends, not food. Her reaction was all the encouragement I needed. Despite all the doubts, air swimmers have turned into a huge success. In 2011, they were voted Best Toy of the Year, and they topped many holiday wish lists. Believe it or not, there are now more air swimmer flying sharks like these guys swimming around in the world than there are real great white sharks. I would have never guessed that such a simple observation could turn into such a successful product. And I am greatly thankful for all of the opportunities I've had along the way that helped me realize this invention. Now, anyone can get one of these sharks and turn their living room into an aquarium, or bring a giant shark to their kid's birthday party. I've been asked, how do I come up with these things? Well, I'd like to share a secret with you. It's my favorite idea generator. First, you take an object, and you envision what boundaries surround it. Then, you see what it would look like if you took that object and put it on the other side of the boundary. For example, these flying sharks should be swimming underneath the surface of the water, but instead, they're swimming above. Originally, I wanted the sharks to swim upside down. And that's because I wanted to glue sand and shells to the ceiling. Hang strands of kelp down to the floor. You would then lie on your back, looking up, and open your eyes to an undersea world. You would see the same thing you would see if you were snorkeling in the ocean. I tried this and was seasick. It turns out the effect is so pronounced and so strong that it feels like you are going to fall off the floor onto the ceiling below you. It was genuinely unnerving, like gravity had been reversed. So what's next? I'm sure you will all agree with me that creativity is very important. Without it, I couldn't have brought these flying sharks to life. One of the cornerstones of the Stanford product design program is that you should fail early and fail often. I completely agree. One of the main things I learned during this process is that it is all too easy for doubt or self-doubt to kill a good idea. What I would like to do is make it less likely for children to give up on their own creativity, and I would like to do this by enabling them to more easily create the physical objects that they see in their mind. What if that little boy at the aquarium had had all the skills and resources necessary to build a flying shark? Well, he would have done it in an instant, right? If we can make it easier for children to create the objects that they see in their mind, to bring their imaginations to life, we can bridge the gap between can and cannot and turn absurd ideas into the opportunities that they really are. This is what excites me now. Thank you.